Hi, welcome to my video on part 3 of reciprocal trig ratios. Find other trig ratios given a trig ratio. Okay, let's do some examples. Example A, find each. Find the other trig ratios of sine B when the triangle ABC has C, a right angle, a 90-degree angle, and the cosecant of B is 5/3. So we have a right triangle. And it says that angle C is 90. So that means you can put A and B here, or you can put A here and B here. I like to put A here, B there. And before we start this, Sakatoa, that's an H-T, Sakatoa, it defines sine is opposite over hypotenuse, C is cos, is adjacent over hypotenuse, and T is for tan, is opposite over adjacent. And the reciprocal ratio of sine is C, secant, or cosecant, is hypotenuse over opposite. The reciprocal of cos begins with C, so it's secant. It's hypotenuse over adjacent. And the reciprocal of tan is cot, C-O-T, so it's adjacent over opposite. Reciprocals, notice opposite over hypotenuse, hypotenuse over opposite, adjacent over hypotenuse, hypotenuse over adjacent, opposite over adjacent, adjacent over opposite. So we have cosecant. We're given cosecant, CSC, of angle B is 5/3. So cosecant is hypotenuse over opposite. So that's hypotenuse over opposite. So here's angle B. Hypotenuse in this triangle is opposite the right angle, so it's 5. And the opposite to angle B is 3. So in order to find the other trig ratios, we need the third side. So to get the third side, let's do C squared equals A squared plus B squared. This is the Pythagorean property, and C is the hypotenuse, which is 5. A is 3, and B is x. And this Pythagorean property is used in a right triangle to find the lengths of the sides. 5 squared is 25, 3 squared is 9, x squared. 25 minus 9 is x squared. So we have x squared equal to 16. When we do the square root of each side, plus minus, we get plus minus 4. The square root of x squared is x. So this other side, which is CB, is 4 because we can't have a negative length. So we found the other side. So we got cosecant. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So it's easy to do sine of angle B because it's just do the reciprocal of 3/5. Now, it depends on what order you want to do it. You can do cosecant, you can do secant next of angle B, and secant is hypotenuse over adjacent. So the hypotenuse is 5 over the adjacent, which is 4. And that's secant, and the secant is reciprocal of cos. So cos of B is reciprocal 4/5. And since I have cosecant, secant, it's just as well to put cot of angle B. Cot is adjacent over opposite. So here's angle B, adjacent is 4 over opposite, which is 3. So therefore the tan of B is the reciprocal of 3/4. Remember, tan is opposite over adjacent. So here's angle B, opposite over adjacent is 3 over 4. But because I have cot, tan and cot are reciprocals. So I found the other 5 trig ratios. Let's do another one. Find the other trig ratios of angle n, exact values. This is angle n. So we have a triangle labeled, and we have, notice, MN is perpendicular to MP. The common angle, or the common letter here, is N. So N has to be the right angle, perpendicular. So we can have MN, and we can have MP. Notice MN is perpendicular to MP, M is the right angle. Now, again, we have SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, tan is opposite over adjacent, etc. Cosecant, hypotenuse over opposite, secant, hypotenuse over adjacent, and cot is adjacent over opposite. Always keep this in mind. So, here we go. Now we have, what we have is cot of angle n is root 3. And that's understood to be root 3 over 1. Look up here, and cot is adjacent over opposite. In terms of angle n, which is here, adjacent is root 3, opposite is a 1, is in terms of angle n. So, if we have cot, then we can have tan, because the tan of angle n is the reciprocal of 1 over root 3, multiplied by root 3 over root 3. That gives me 1 times root 3 is root 3. Root 3 times root 3 is 3. Now, since we have cot, now we can do sine of n. Sine is, let's look up sine. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, but we don't have the other side. So let's go and find the other side. So c squared is a squared plus b squared. And again, c is the hypotenuse. We don't have the hypotenuse, the opposite right angle, so c is x, a is root 3, b is 1. X squared is, root 3 squared is 9, root 3 is root 9, which is 3. Be careful. The square root of any number squared is what's in the inside. Square root of 1 squared is 1, so x squared is 4. So we do the square root of x, and we do plus minus. So x equals plus minus the root of 4, which is 2. And we can't take a negative, we're dealing with a triangle, so we have to say 2. So sine is opposite of angle n, opposite, which is 1, over hypotenuse, which is 2. So therefore, cosecant is the reciprocal. I got an S, I need a C. Cosecant of angle n is reciprocal 2 over 1, or 2. And cosecant is hypotenuse over opposite. So hypotenuse is 2 over opposite 1. So either way, you can get the sine and cosecant are reciprocal of each other. And now we have to do cos, and cos, look up cos, is adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent over hypotenuse for n. Adjacent is root 3. Hypotenuse is 2. And the reciprocal of cos is secant, S-E-C. And that's 2 over root 3. Got to remove the root. You can't have the radical in the denominator. So that gives us 2 root 3. Root 3 times root 3 is root 9, which is 3. So I found the other 5 trig ratios. So just make sure you follow a pattern. But I notice I draw a triangle, make sure I find the third side. So practice means pause the video and work each of these out. Do one at a time. Pause the video and work this one out. Then when you get that done, just check, play it back to see if you got it right. And same with this one. So here we go. Find the other trig ratio of angle Y. If we have triangle, the triangle is, Okay, didn't go all this, go up there. Angle X is 90 degrees. So we got an X, and we have a Y, and we have a T. So again, we have Sohcahtoa, Sohcahtoa. S stands for sine, is opposite over hypotenuse. C is cos, is adjacent over hypotenuse. Tan is opposite over adjacent. And the reciprocal of sine is cosecant, is hypotenuse over opposite. Reciprocal of cos is secant, is hypotenuse over adjacent. Reciprocal of tan is cot, which is adjacent over opposite. And you keep that in mind. Notice S got a C, C got an S. And tan and cot, you can't go wrong. Now it says the secant of angle Y is 13 over 5. Secant is hypotenuse over adjacent. So here's angle Y. Hypotenuse is 13, adjacent side is 5. This is the opposite side. So I have to do, again, I have two sides of a right triangle. C squared is A squared plus B squared. C is the hypotenuse, which is 13. A is 5, and squared, and B, we'll call it X, or we'll call it B, whatever you want. So that's 169 when you square it, that's 25 when you square it. So 169 minus 25 is X squared. 144 is X squared. And let's go up here. Square root plus minus square root of X squared is plus minus 12 equals X. So the other side is plus minus 12, but we can't have a negative, so it has to be 12. So if secant is, I put that into place, so let's, right here, let's go down to right here. Secant, reciprocal is cos, so the cos of angle Y is 5 over 13, because it's just due to reciprocal. Or the cos is the adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 5 over 13, same. So we have secant and cos. Let's do sine. Sine of angle Y, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. For angle Y, opposite is 12 over 13. Therefore, reciprocal of sine is cosecant of angle Y is going to be 13 over 12. Or you could go hypotenuse over opposite. Hypotenuse over opposite in terms of angle Y. We have cos sine, so let's do tan. Tan of angle Y is opposite over adjacent. Here's angle Y, opposite is 12 over adjacent, which is 5. And cot is the reciprocal, COT, of angle Y, and that's 5 over 12. Or cot is adjacent over opposite in terms of angle Y. In terms of angle Y, adjacent is 5, opposite is 12. So we have the other 5. And hopefully that's going well with you. Find the all trig ratios of angle A. Find all trig ratios, or we have one already, so we got to find the other 5. So we have a triangle, and it's a right triangle, angle B. So this is angle B. So we have an A and a C. So let's put A here and C here. Again, I can put A here and C here. It makes no difference. Angle B is 90. And we have Sohcahtoa. Sine is written down here. Primary ratios. This is the reciprocal ratios. So let's have a go at it. We have cosecant of C. If you notice, we are working out the trig ratios of the acute angles. Later on, we'll do videos on doing sine, cos, and tan of the 90-degree angle. Right now, we're working on the acute angles of the right triangle. So cosecant is 17 over 15. And cosecant is hypotenuse over opposite. So the hypotenuse is 17. Angle C is here. Opposite is this side. And we have to work out what the other side is. So we have to work on the Pythagorean property. C is the hypotenuse opposite the right angle, which is 17 squared. A is 15 squared. And the other side, we'll call it X, or we'll call it B. So 17 squared is 289. 15 squared is 225 plus X squared. So 289 subtract 225 is X squared. So X squared is equal to 64. And we do the square root of 64 plus minus, and we do the square root of X squared. So X is equal to plus minus 8. But the length of a triangle, or the sides of a triangle, can only be positive, so we're dealing with the 8. So we have cosecant. So reciprocal of cosecant is sine. Angle C is reciprocal 17 over 15, 15 over 17. Or think of sine as opposite over hypotenuse. Angle C, opposite, 15 over hypotenuse, 17. But it's easier just to flip it. So we can do the reciprocal. We have sine. Let's do cos of angle C. Cos of angle C is adjacent over hypotenuse. And in angle C, adjacent is 8 over hypotenuse is 17. The reciprocal of cos is secant. And secant, the reciprocal is 17 over 8. Or think of secant as hypotenuse over adjacent. Angle C, hypotenuse, 17 over adjacent, 8. Either or, you get it the same way. And the tan is opposite over adjacent for angle C. Opposite is 15 over adjacent, 8. So the reciprocal of tan is cot of angle C. Reciprocal is 8 over 15. Or cot is adjacent over opposite. And in angle C, adjacent is 8, opposite is 15. So notice you can do the reciprocal or work out what it says for each. And that's working out all the trig ratios when you're given one. Hopefully everything is working well. You understand. Don't forget the Pythagorean property, c squared a squared plus b squared. And C is the hypotenuse. Remember, C is opposite the right angle, hypotenuse. And if you like my video, click on the like button, subscribe button, and the notification bell. Visit my website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. And that's the content that's on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.